right, so for the longest time, I've wanted to make a video about feel. So to me, and I feel very strongly about this, the most important skill that we as drummers have, the most employable skill that we bring to the table is the ability to make music feel good. It's more important than licks, it's more important than technique. Making music feel good is critical. How do you make a video about it? That's been my dilemma. I can't even come up with a definition of it except really to say, you know it when you hear it. So I had heard a version of this tune called Work to Do. Now, it was originally recorded by the Isley Brothers. The version I heard, this was in the early 70s, was by the Average White Band, a group out of Ireland. And the drummer, by the way, was Robbie McIntyre, who sadly died of a heroin overdose at the ripe old age of 24. But man, he sounded so good on this version. Great feel, super tasty, very musical. Love the way he played. Anyway, so that's the version that I was used to. I only recently heard the Isley version. It was so much slower. So the AWB version was about 102 beats per minute. The Isley version was 86 beats per minute. Well, that really inspired me. I was so drawn to that I decided I was going to come up with my own arrangement. So for me, what you're about to see is the culmination of days, really over a month, of me getting to the point where I felt okay about the drum parts that I came up with. So let me explain. The process I use when I'm coming up with an arrangement is I play all the parts. Not very well, but I need something to play with if I'm going to start working on a drum part that works. This recording is ultimately going to be performed with real musicians and real singers. That's not what you're going to hear. You're just hearing a very rough demo. You're going to hear this really cheesy synth part playing the melody. That's just a reference track so the vocalists know when the verses and choruses come in and everything. So, go easy on me as far as that goes. The process that I took me to a place where I wound up with two versions. One is a halftime shuffle, one is straight 16ths. I can't decide which one I like better. Anyway, I thought, wow, this is YouTube. Let me do sort of an informal poll. So I'm going to play you both versions. If you like the halftime shuffle version, just say that in the comments below. You don't have to explain it, just write halftime shuffle. If you like the straight 16th version, type that. All right, so now here's the halftime shuffle version. This is the straight 16th version. Both of them, by the way, at 86 beats per minute. Okay, so once again, if you would just in the comments below write half note shuffle or 16th note, whatever, that would be very helpful. All right, now feel. I've broken it down into 5 components that are things that I feel you can actually work on. Because like when I was really trying to, wrap my head around this idea of making music feel good, nobody ever sat me down and said, if you do this, 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 and this will greatly improve your feel. The bottom line is I kind of had to figure it out by myself, and it's not that it's super difficult to do that, because really all you have to do is listen to great drummers and listen how they make music feel good. Anyway, I've tried to break it down into bite-sized chunks that if you are willing to spend a little time on these 6 different components, I believe that you can improve your drum feel. So here we go. Number 1, you need to be able to play as relaxed as you possibly can. You have to be totally relaxed. You have to be totally confident. You have to have it to the point where you're not thinking about it. Well, how do you do that? You have to practice. You have to put the time in. Does that mean you have to put in 10,000 hours and 10 years of practicing so many hours a day before you can do that? No. But it does mean you have to practice something enough so you're comfortable enough that you can actually do it with other musicians. And if you can't, keep practicing. There's no shortcut to that. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, find the pocket first. You have to find that pocket before you do anything else. There's so many times where I've heard drummers, before the band really locked in, they start doing a drum fill or do some lick that they just learned to show off and it doesn't work. Find the pocket. If you take the time to do that, then you may decide that you don't have to do anything else. But for the most part, in general, I keep it real simple in order for that pocket to find me, because that's kind of what it feels like. It's so cool. Number 3, really important to understand the style of music you're playing. Each style of music has a certain vocabulary, and you need to be comfortable and proficient at the vocabularies for these different styles of music that you'd like to play. So if you want to play salsa, you should understand the clave. You should understand how the drum kit gets integrated into that music, because the drum kit was not originally in Afro-Cuban music. It's an actually relatively more recent development, but some really great creative drummers figured out a way to utilize the kit for that music, and you need to understand that. And that's true for any style of music. They all have their vocabularies that you need to understand if you're going to play those styles. So that's number 3. Number 4, play with other people. I don't see how you can really establish a really nice, comfortable feel unless you get a lot of experience under your belt playing with other musicians. Now, if you're just starting out, that's probably not possible. So play along with recorded music. We all did that. Everybody I knew when I was a kid was doing that. That's what you did. And it was a great first step. To me, that's like so important in the development of a drummer who can get a really good feel. Okay, this is Future Gary. I can't believe I forgot which is probably the single most helpful and important thing you can do regarding getting better feel. Record yourself, and even better, record yourself playing to music. If you have an iPhone, you can actually import a song into GarageBand, open up another track, record you playing the drums on this other track, and then mix the two together. Without a doubt, recording yourself is probably the single most helpful and important thing you can do. All right, back to the video. Number 5, listen to what other musicians are doing. The type of listening I'm talking about is you're 100% present in that moment while you're playing with these other musicians. You're aware of what every musician in the band is doing. You're hearing it. It's information that's coming at you in real time, and you're adjusting what you're doing to fit all of that information. Listening is so important, and it makes all the difference in the world. And it seems to be so obvious, but believe me, there are a lot of musicians that don't really listen. They're not really 100% present in the moment. And lastly, but not least, and this is kind of what screwed me up for this particular project, play everything you know at different tempos. So I thought I was just going to, it was a much slower tempo than I was used to playing work to do at. But I have to say that tempo really screwed me up. Practice everything you know at different tempos. If it's a more sort of complicated rhythm, you might be surprised at how difficult it is to play at a slower tempo or any different tempo. See, different feels actually feel different at different tempos. They're their own thing. So if you work on everything you know at different tempos, you're going to be getting good at making music feel good. All right, I mean, there's more. There's a lot more, but this video is going on forever, so I'm going to stop here. And I hope you guys get something out of this video. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.